As you can see, Emily did not dress up this week.
Okay, hear me out. So, last week I did my little, scary face makeup. If you watched the video version, which if you did, appreciate you. The algorithm on TikTok hated it. I think it was confused where to send our videos. And nobody saw them. Nobody saw any of our videos basically from last week. So that is why I did not do my makeup this week. But I am wearing the person who I am being for Halloween.
I figured that's why you wore that sweatshirt today.
Yeah, that's why I wore it. So,
is it comfy? Do you like it?
I do like it.
Or should I tell them that we need a new one? Because also, okay, this was part of Emily's birthday present. I know you can't see it, so those audio listeners, it's a Joffy sweatshirt that she's going to be from anime character called One Piece, and he's a villain.
Yeah, perfect explanation.
I had to do it because that's my layman's terms, and that's how everyone else understand it. And I ordered it in black. It came in dark brown.
Which I kind of fuck with the brown because I feel like this is a shade of brown that not a lot of it's like clothes
very like dark chocolate.
Yeah, because it's more of like it's a cool brown. It's not like a warm brown tone.
Yes,
which
so
I like.
It's cool. It was supposed to be black. Came in the wrong color. First of all, I was mad about that. Now I just didn't know if it was comfortable, but
No, it's comfy. It's great. I'm glad you got a bigger size though, because when I washed it, it shrunk up.
Oh, I got you the size. You know where to get like a 2XL, right? That's what I got you. I thought.
Yeah, 1 or a 2X.
Why is my face peeling right now?
I just saw that. Oh, it's gone now.
Okay,
You, flaked it off.
It's still going underneath my chin. Let me tell you something. I don't know what it is, Ben. I don't know if it's like the water, it's the weather, it's the allergies. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but my face within the past like 2-3 weeks continuously is getting a rash on it. And I don't know why. And then it like peels or like it just burns. And
Weird.
I haven't changed any of my products.
You think it's the meds that you've been taking?
Maybe when I first started taking them, but I haven't taken them since the first week. Like I stopped taking them.
And you weren't on them long enough to be a form of withdrawal.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my skin. I think it's honestly the weather.
Yeah. I know the weather's fucking with my allergies. I don't know anybody else. I know that you said that you've had bad allergies once you moved to Tennessee. Yes. But like I think everybody who I've ever talked to who lives in Tennessee is like, if you never had allergies before, you somehow get them when you move here. They're so bad here.
It's so bad. And I had allergies when I lived back in Pennsylvania, but like they're just different. They're intense here.
Yeah.
But
it almost feels like you're sick all the time.
Oh, I know. And like I just think, I don't know what it is, but my face has been like itchy. And I've been like, I'm not one to be like pick at your face, itch at your face, touch your face.
I am.
But I've been
doing
it.
There's a bump there. I'm picking at it until it's gone.
No. I don't really like to because I don't want to create more pimples.
Yeah.
But I've been itching my face nonstop and then I've been getting pimples. So love my life. But I also had my period yesterday. So that might be like.
I feel like it doesn't matter what happens with my body. As if it happens during the time that I'm on my period, I just blame it on that. Because I'm like, it makes sense. Because anything can happen.
Everything. I mean, like last night, I literally had like my stomach hurt all night long. And I was like, has to be my period. Yeah. Honestly, could have like a stomach virus. Don't know.
Yeah. I really hope you don't, because that is like the most contagious sickness is like the stomach bug.
Well, Emily,
as long as you're not vomiting, I can handle a stomach bug.
I'm not vomiting out here.
I think we're good.
I haven't even taken a shit today. Actually, I just did. That was also coffee induced. It wasn't because like I had to. You know? Or like the coffee just had me.
Nothing will make you shit quicker and more intensely than a cold brew.
I know. Well, I had espresso shots. So it was gonna
See, but even that I feel like is not as bad. Something about a cold brew, it's like that one chip challenge where it's just like spicy and comes quick out the butt with the cold brew. But anyways,
I'm gonna say it. Have sex with a Scorpio.
I could glute bridge your dad. I'm naked. Hold on.
We will be flicking the beans to that.
But she's tatted and I take meth. Is somebody in your house right now?
But you know what? Fuck your ass.
Yeah, I had sex last night.
You can make your own money. You can literally have your own job of your dreams. You can own your own house. You can own your own car. You can pay all your fucking own bills. So what is that man? That man is sex and a best friend, and that's it.
I heard nothing but the truth. So the structure of this week's episode is kind of like non-existent. Because we batched some content, those episodes were very structured. And then last week's was a list basically that we were going down. And so we just wanted to have more of just like a normal conversation that wasn't really like framed.
No, this is just Kellen and Emily.
Yeah. So if you hate these kind of episodes, we're sorry, but that's what we're doing this week.
We kind of fuck with them.
Yeah. I think we enjoy these ones the most because they're just the most natural for us, and they're just how we normally talk. We just hit record.
Mm-hmm.
But
so Emily has some big news to share that it's almost like a midlife crisis, but at 25.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but I've been consistently like weight training for like probably like a little over a year now. It's been just like part of my routine 3 to 4 times a week. I was lifting, and at first it was because of like physique goals, and it was when I was kind of starting my like not weight loss, because I don't it really wasn't weight loss. It was just more of like
Toning, like
body
better
changes.
and,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. So I started getting into it, and I really love it. I love it, but I've hit a plateau with that where it's like my motivation is just at the tank because I don't really know like where to go from here kind of thing. And also like my physique just kind of stopped changing. Like I had this point where like my body like peaked in terms of like the way I was training, and I was like, oh, I fucking love it. And then it kind of just plateaued there because I wasn't lifting any heavier. I wasn't changing it up. And also I didn't really have the motivation to. I was kind of burnt out from it. So I am the most, what is it called? Impulsive. I'm a very impulsive person. When I see something that I want, I get it. When I have an idea in my head, I go do it. Like there's no thought in this little teeny tiny brain of mine. I just, whatever the first thing's in front of me, that's what I do. And so I had this idea because one of my best friends has been training for a half marathon, and she just ran it actually this past week. So congratulations, you. Proud of you. That was amazing. And then also one of me and Kellen's favorite creators. We talk about fucking Cody all the time, and I hate doing that because we are fangirls. But
we really are fangirls. But also, it's like, who cares?
I don't care because he'll never hear this until a few years later when we work for him. But right now, like he's not gonna hear it, so it's fine. But he recently created a whole new YouTube channel solely because he trains for races. He just ran like an ultra marathon not too long ago, and now he's training for a triathlon. And so with him and then my friend who just did this, I was like, I'm going to push myself to do something I've never fucking tried in my whole life, which is running a marathon. So for some reason, I just convinced myself that I could do it, and it's something that I wanted to do, and I didn't think about it at all. And I started Googling like prep for it. And the first step with every single thing was like sign up for a race. Because if you don't sign up, you're never going to do it.
Right. Because to be fair,
there's no accountability.
Right. Because today, like you ran 3 miles, and you also mentioned how mentally exhausting it was to run those 3 miles, which if you know anything about running, that's normal.
Yeah.
Honestly, mile 1 sucks.
Yeah.
Mile 2 sucks even worse. And then when you're trying to get to the third mile,
yeah.
Nah, I'm good on that,
Yeah.
bitch. Like, so, but the thing is, you didn't stop because you have like a goal that you're reaching. Where like, had you not signed up for a race,
I would have given up. Who cares? Honestly, I would have given up because also I'm the kind of person, and I feel like you can probably relate to this too, just with the way that our personalities are, is like, I don't like being bad at stuff. So if I try something and I'm not pretty good at it at the beginning, I want to stop because I'm like, why am I wasting my time on something I'm bad at?
But then also the chase of being really good at something is also, that kind of like motivates me.
See, I like that, but when I have no talent in it.
See, I like that, but listen.
But the thing is, I think there's a difference because like I can be like borderline bad at something, but if I see potential there, I'll go after it. But with something like this is like, I get zero fucking enjoyment running. Like some people talk about this like runner's high or this like
she said I signed up for a full ass marathon and that I hate running.
Right. And it's like there's nothing about it that I like. Like I don't like it. It's not fun for me, but I want to make it fun. Like because I hear about these people and they're like, I have these runner's highs and it's the most euphoric feeling. And I was hitting that with my weightlifting. Eventually I got there. At first I fucking hated it. It sucked, but eventually I got there. And so I'm hoping running is this. If it's not, then I just spent $100 and a lot more dollars because of all this fucking equipment I found out that I need.
Watch.
Yeah, I have this fugly watch that I wear now. It's like so bad. But anyways, so I signed up for this marathon. It's in 27 weeks. Today was my first official training day. I've kind of been doing like loose training for like the past week because I've been kind of hype about it. So I'm like, I want to get started. Fucking terrible. But anyways, that's what I am looking forward to now. So it's 27 weeks out. I run on April 22nd. 6 months to run. How long is a mile or a marathon? 26.
Bitch, you're the one signed up.
26.2 miles, something like that. But anyways, like
I guess.
Yeah. So there's that. So this is if you've ever wanted to run a marathon or half marathon, there's one in Nashville on the 22nd.
Maybe you can train with Emily.
Yeah, if you want to train with me, I'm trying to kind of vlog it. Just like I don't know if I'll ever put it
Emily
anywhere.
Trains. Is that gonna be the next YouTube channel?
I think it's more of just like for my personal, like it's almost like a diary, so I can like go look back in like 10 weeks and been like, oh my god, remember when you almost shit yourself after running only 3
I love
miles?
that. I love that because there's actually from the vlog squad, his name is Ilya. He owns a fitness company and it's called Zila, and he does that with
people. He's been training. He
trains with people because he is like 0% body fat, but like he has been taking people and like flipping their lives around in like a couple of months, and like he's been making documentaries on them, and it's so cool. Like the way he puts it together, like how you see in the beginning, they're just like can't run up a hill and can't do whatever.
And that's what I really like about people who aren't fitness influencers making fitness content, because it's like showing the real raw shit. Because I think a lot of times, especially with running, is one of those things like you only see content around people who run who love fucking running. And that's like their whole shtick. Like they're are doing 5Ks. Yeah,
they're already in it.
But you never see like people who are like starting from ground zero.
And
like
learning the ropes.
Exactly. Like, and so that's why I'm vlogging it. I don't know if I'll ever put it anywhere.
To be honest, when I started training for like CrossFit competitions, I did the same thing. I started like literally the day that the trainer asked me if I would want to do it, I like came home and like made a video. I was like, what the fuck do I do?
That's what I did like when I signed up, and I was like, well, here we go.
I did like a body video like a couple of times. Like after I came home, I was like, that was the worst thing I ever did. Like, and it wasn't like I was even training intensely. It was just like learning new things.
Right.
And it was like, you're going to fail at them. And I was terrible at them. And then also like he was forcing me to take videos like in the gym to like see like where I would go wrong or like how I could fix it or like just like reflect on it. But also I was like, this would be cool to like add to like a video. And then I hurt myself, and now here we are. So maybe I can do like a little comeback video with it too.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I like, if you guys have watched Cody Trains or you keep up with, you know, the shit that we mindlessly keep up with, like he did a whole video of him during his race. And that's kind of what started off his Cody Trains experience, right?
And I loved that. Like that, me watching him do that was so fucking motivational,
right? So
and like made me want to do it.
I decided in Emily's race, I'm gonna be Kelsey. I'm gonna be at all the little checkpoints. I'm gonna have little water for her. I don't have dogs or animals to make her happy along the way.
But I think my family's gonna come, so like my nieces might be there, so you'll have babies.
I could take
you
them.
can just hold a baby, be like,
Charlotte's gonna be like, Aunt Emmy, go.
Yeah, no, she'll be like, can we go fucking do something else?
And I'm gonna be like, I want to as well. But we're here for
Don't worry, we're gonna stop at this bar next because we got 2 more hours till we'll see this bitch again.
Shut up. So I'm gonna be her little support system because also like I can't run. She was like, why don't you sign up for the 5K? Because like
just like walk it or whatever.
I could do the 5K. But the thing is
like the crowd of people.
Yeah, and by April, like I should be fine with like my shoulder and everything. It's just that like I'm gonna have to like slowly get back into training and everything, and like running and walking a lot. It sounds crazy, but like the impact of it is wild.
Because that was like the biggest shock to me, I think, because I've always done some sort of working out. Like there's never really been a period in my life when I just don't do that. And so you would think going from lifting weights to running wouldn't be that different on your body because you're used to using like what you think is all of your muscles because you're training all these groups. The way I could not walk the day after my first like 3-mile run outside.
Yes.
My fucking quads. I got out of bed the next day and I almost fell forward because my quads gave out. My calves were cramped. Kellen like luckily had like rollers here, so she gave me those to use. But holy shit, like
I'm about to pimp this girl out too. I'm about to give her some like socks so she can wear.
You use so many muscles just running that you don't realize. Like my inner thighs, my obliques.
Oh yeah, no.
So like I can't. it would not be good for somebody recovering regardless of the injury. It could be your pinky, but you still are using like the way you hold your arms. Like it's just not a great thing to get into right after surgery.
No, 100% no. And the thing is, I easily could run the 5K and like not train for it. And if I feel like I want to at the time, I could like late sign up or whatever. But also it's like Emily's thing, like it's you, it's whatever, because like that'd be almost like you coming to support me at a CrossFit competition and you'd be like, you know what,
I'm gonna do the novice like bicep curls in the corner.
Like I'm just not gonna do it. But also like, okay, so yesterday was
but that would be so different though, because literally if I showed up zero prep for a CrossFit thing
and you were like, let me just sign up,
I just wouldn't be able to do anything because it's not even it's like running something like instinctually everybody can do as long as you're able-bodied.
No, all I was saying
CrossFit
is like, it's just like your moment.
Hey, we need you to do like only 3 muscle ups. I'd be like 3.
No, I was just saying like it's your moment and I'm not gonna take it away from you. But like, no, yesterday was the first day that I've been going to the gym a little bit like since my surgery, but like just to ride the stationary bike, because that's literally all I can do. And yesterday I was like, I need to like hold a weight. Like I know I probably sound like psychopathic compared to like people who like never go to the gym or just like lightly do like Pilates or something, but like to me holding a weight is like euphoric. And I know that sounds like I should probably get help by now, but I would like did like squats yesterday and like lunges yesterday with just like 30-pound kettlebell in one hand, and my legs today, I'm like, how did I ever lift?
Do your abs hurt?
Not really,
because I feel like only having like one kettlebell, like I would be like
not really weirded. Because I didn't hold it like up or like high. I held it low, so like no, but like it just felt so good. But today I'm like, I cannot walk. Like Emily brought Chick-fil-A over and we ate it on the ground, and I was like, so like I understand actually like how your legs are feeling right now, but oh my gosh, I don't know. I think it's like for us specifically too, and I think like at our age it's like harder to find like new hobbies like that, or like wanting to put yourself out there to do new things, because it's like we're so used to like
mundane
what we do.
Totally.
So like I think it's really cool and like inspirational that like you, not that you never ran before, but like you never had that passion for running, and now it's like, okay, well, here we go. Like at 25, like I think that that's really cool, and I think that's something a lot of people can like take something away from.
Honestly, too, I'm excited to just like be part of like a community where it's like you definitely found that in your gym, but like I work out at my apartment gym, so like I'm not going there to participate in any sort of like social interaction. Whereas like there's running clubs that I've like signed up for, and like it's definitely like the community aspect I'm also looking forward to a lot.
I think that is when you're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah, totally.
Even if like you're not even running the 10 miles yet that they're doing, I think that's just when you're going to thrive, because you're going to meet a couple people, you're going to talk, they're going to get drinks after, they're going to hang out on like random days of the week.
And just like be motivated because you're watching other people like also struggle with you, or they're better than you and you want to be better like them.
Because you also don't want to be the best person there. You want to be the one that struggles, because it means you have room to grow. Yeah, like that is the best part about any like room you walk into, anything.
It looks like I'm naked in the
well, she is
in the camera.
This is a sex episode.
I have like tan shorts on and my legs are so pale you can't really see
the difference.
Yeah, whatever. Well, TikTok, don't take this down.
I am 25
and I have shorts on.
Yeah,
but I'm excited for it. I mean, this is so premature talking about it, but it's just something that happened in my life, so I thought we'd bring it up. And I don't know, if anybody else wants to do a fucking marathon, do it.
Or try something new.
Yeah.
Because it's cool to try something new. I actually can't wait. That's the thing. I feel like this would be my time where I could definitely try a lot of new things. But I'm just so like, what do I do?
Yeah, and we kind of talked about this
on the YouTube video.
Yeah, I don't know if we made the YouTube video. That's why I didn't want to say it.
I can't remember yet.
Yeah, but
I definitely cut up the YouTube video. I need to add like some fun stuff to it.
Yeah. But, anyways, it may or may not be in the YouTube video. If not, hearing it here first. But we kind of talked about like hobbies, and like as somebody who has ADHD, and I'm sure a million people can relate to this because I've posted TikToks about it and everybody's like, yes, same. But you do a lot of hobbies because your attention span's short as fuck. You get hyper fixated on things. So like I have a lot of hobbies. Have they ever really encompassed physical hobbies? No, they've all been creative. They've all been like things that I can do stagnant. Where it's like Kellen is the opposite. Her hobbies majority revolve around moving her body, exercising, doing stuff outside. So at this point in her life where she's unable to do that,
I have to be stagnant,
she's like at like a crossroads because we've both been trying to like find stuff for her to do, but she's like, I don't like this stuff.
Yes. So like, okay, that's so true. Because Emily, like we were like driving to the mall, I think, and this wasn't even a part of the vlog, but
yeah.
She was like, yeah, like every hobby that I've ever picked up has always been like creative and painting, and like I've done puzzles, I've dyed clothing, I've acid washed clothing, I do all these things, and I'm like, all of my life, every activity or thing that I do as like a hobby for fun has been like active. It's either like going on hikes, playing outside, like when I was little, like going on bike rides.
We were even
like
talking about
walks.
like our friendships that we had as children.
Yes.
Like literally like in elementary school, the things that I did for fun with my friends was like playing pretend with like dolls or Sims or Legos or like stuff like that. And you were like, we would play outside and like play tag and like run around.
We'd do like manhunt, or like when we were younger, we'd like take chalk and make like cities and then like ride our bikes around like it was like a New York City.
Yeah. And
like,
and me and my friends would be like, okay, this week we're going to stay at your house for 10 days in a row every day after school playing Little's Pet Shop. Everybody bring everything that you've ever owned and fucking be there or be square. And you're like, no, we just like draw on the ground and pretend like we were like running around the city.
Literally it was like we would like run around outside all night, and everybody knew as soon as the streetlights went on, you had to go home.
Yeah.
Like that was like the rule. So it was like every single night of my life growing up as a child was like outside being active and like exercising my body. It's like actually crazy because like you don't realize how like the little things you do when you're younger are like so pivotal to like the way you're going to be when you're older. And like I don't know, when we were like talking about that, I was like, it's crazy because you were like, no, like I've always been like creative, always like to have a lot of hobbies. And I'm like,
yeah, like I did like sewing club.
I'm like, I couldn't tell you like a hobby that I do.
Yeah.
Because like everything I do, like I don't think you'd consider it a hobby because like it's like active or like working out, or but I guess it's a hobby, but like to someone like you who like paints, I'm like,
right, like comparatively, like a lot of people maybe wouldn't qualify it as a hobby because they think like conventional hobbies require creating something or like doing something like that you couldn't do in normal life.
So recently, like since I don't really have much to do, and like the best part about this time though is that like because I can't do my actual job right now, like I'm not allowed to. So the best part is that we at least have the podcast to like keep me busy on like certain days. But then like the days we don't have that, I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
So those days have been consisting of like calling friends and being like, talk to me for hours. And like that is so bad. Cause like,
yeah, but honestly, like we have been in such go mode since we started this thing for a year.
Yeah.
Where like our friendships have like, and no offense to anybody, but taken second place because we're trying to get this thing going.
Right.
So it's like now that you're at a place that you can devote to that, it might seem like maybe annoying to them at some points, but also I'm sure it's nice to like hear from you and like get to like not rekindle, but like reignite like, those friendships.
To every person that I've like reached out to, I'm like, why aren't you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm like,
they're like, bitch, I have work literally right now. Like I have a meeting in 20 minutes.
Even the thing is like Emily and I talk all day, all the time, random shit about the podcast, not about the podcast, whatever. And like I could send her 20 messages in a row and it don't matter. And I know it doesn't matter, but it's like, fuck, I'm annoying her. And I'm like, well, she's probably working. I'm like, all right, who can I annoy now?
Yeah.
Julia, let me find TikToks that I can send you.
Yeah.
And
they like heart the TikTok or like laugh at it instead of like messaging
But
back.
at this point, it's like super toxic to the point that I'm going on TikTok and looking up things that I know that they'll find funny.
Just to elicit a response from them.
Yes, going through TikToks and being like, haha, send. And I'm like, this is so toxic because I want attention. And that's so bad.
Have you re-downloaded dating apps?
No.
Just fill your time with that. Are you kidding me?
But like, I don't find like, I like them for validation, but I don't get like anything out of it.
But you don't even have to go on dates with them. You can just literally just
talk to them.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you just want to like talk to people who are like actually going to give you attention, do it there.
That's true. That might be kind of smart.
Yeah. It's so great when you're bored and you just like need somebody to talk to.
I know. And also it's because like I don't really need anything to come out of it. So it's like I can be as annoying as possible and they're going to be like, okay, she's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's what I've been doing with my dating apps recently, except I don't talk to them after that first initial interaction.
See, but that's where I am like bad at.
But like I've had so much fun with my dating profile recently because I've just been like giving no shits. So like my photos are bad. I have like memes on there. I literally made this entire video of me jumping in the pool to meme edit sound effects. Like it's so unserious, but it's like actually fun. And the people who are matching with me or liking my thing are like less of the typical just like douche.
No, but also it's probably like more your type of guy.
Totally, yeah.
So it actually is probably like beneficial to you.
Yeah, except I'm just not taking advantage of it because I'm just like, I don't care right now.
Right, but maybe you like maybe going on a date would spice up your life. Mine as well, but like
yeah, maybe. I feel like right now I have no time.
No, I agree. Well, I actually have a lot of time.
I was like, wait, wasn't this whole segment about you having
No. Okay.
I agree. No time.
Anyways. I agree. The 10 hours a day that I sit in my bed scrolling TikTok and playing the same block game that I've had on my phone for 3 years.
Did you ever get into Sims or no?
When I was like younger, when we had like our like home PC computer, when it came on like a disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Sims 2. Like that's like when I used to
The issue with Sims now is it takes so many gigabytes up on and so much RAM on your computer that like if you use your computer for anything else, you cannot download it on there.
Can you do like an online version of Sims?
I think you can, like stream it online.
Because I might get into that.
I know they have an app on your phone.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because listen, I like...
Or like that Kardashians game on your phone.
I tried like baking like cupcakes last night just to like fill my time. And then like the icing turned out like shit. So now I'm like, well, now I'm not a baker. Don't put me. I was literally the whole time I was like doing the icing, I was pretending like I was on a game show. And I was like, the buttercream did not come out correct.
Yeah, I do that with my whole life. I just will like narrate it. Actually, you know what I've been doing recently? So I started listening to this new podcast, but all of the hosts of the podcast are all Twitch streamers. So like
fun.
They have like this certain type of like personality, right? Because they're used to like being on chats and whatever. Right. I've never watched live stream in my life. Like, so I don't really understand it. But I've been using lingo from like Twitch live streaming that I've never used in my life. Like, oh, chat, what do we think about that? Chat, hey, chat, like to myself. Whereas like before in my life, I would pretend I was a YouTuber. So like when I'm getting ready, I'm like, hey guys, welcome back to my beauty channel. Today I'm going to be using these products. Yeah. Now I'll be doing my makeup and I'll like fuck something up. I'm like, oh, chat and Emily L. What do you guys think? Like, and I'm like, am I mentally stable? No. But also like, the Twitch lingo is so fucking funny to me now, and I've been doing that, but like I've never watched a live stream in my life on Twitch.
I have because I have had some friends in the past who thought that they could be Twitch streamers. So I've never watched like good people.
I just watch clips on, and also my TikTok now is full of clips from like Twitch people.
Also, I like a lot of YouTubers that are like vloggers that are friends with Twitch streamers. So I know like all the Twitch drama, but I don't watch them.
Yeah. The only person who I like consistently see on TikTok is like Hassan. Because he's always like trending on Twitter and shit too. So like on TikTok, it's no surprise.
I feel like low key you could get into being like a Twitch streamer and like game.
I think I would really like it, but the only games I could play would be like Animal Crossing or like stuff like that.
But the thing is like, okay, not to be like whatever, because okay, so I was actually talking about this the other day with somebody who goes to my gym, and he was like wanting to start like posting more content of him like working out and stuff, and like not necessarily like build clientele, but like then the guy who was filming him was like, oh, you should take your shirt off because like he's ripped. And I was like, yeah, but like, okay, you're gonna have a completely different audience.
Yeah, are you trying to have women watch you or men? Take your shirt off. Like, it's all dudes.
Because if you're gonna try to like eventually like sell a program or something for like what you're doing, that's great, but like now you're not gonna have like the right audience. So it's like you might blow up, but like for what? And it's not the right thing. And I was like, Emily and I could do the same thing on the podcast. We could go on there, we could have our makeup done, our hair done, have our pushed up, out. Like look like hoes. We could speak a certain way that's not to us, but like our audience, like it wouldn't be what we're trying to create. So like, why would you do that? But then that's where like Twitch comes in. And I feel like you could for sure just look like a hoe.
Yeah.
In the best way possible. And be a 10 out of 10 like you are. Unlike those TikTok boys who think that you're a 2. And have like
mid.
65 cats, but that's okay.
Mid cat lady.
Mid cat lady.
Ooh, it's always the mids that have the most to say. It's always the twos that have the most to say.
Yeah, like you could go on there.
You're missing teeth.
Yeah, you could go on there looking like a 10 on Twitch. You could play Animal Crossing. You could play Sims. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
They're in there to talk to you and look at your tits.
Honestly, like, I think I would enjoy that, but I think I would enjoy it a little too much to the point where it's like, I don't want to become like a shut-in. And I feel like that would slowly turn into that.
No, because you have other things that
I guess that's true.
You have other things in your life, but if you started making money off of it,
you'd
then
have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But
maybe later in our career when we have somebody who can edit and do all the other stuff, when I have some extra time, I'll get into the Twitch world.
And I hope that for you.
Yeah.
For me, on the other hand, probably not.
Yeah.
I'll be like her side character. Yeah. Again, not with the hobbies. Not with the stationary hobbies. Literally, like, Emily got me a puzzle to do, like, you know, in this time that I have off. I finished half of the puzzle. Like, legit. And it's a very hard puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Finished half of it.
It was like 1,000 pieces, which is a lot. If you're an avid puzzle
doer. 1,000-piece puzzle that's all pastels and very similar. It's like tarot cards.
Yeah.
But they were like similar pastels. So
well, it's a lot of like blocking of color. So it'll be like 7 pieces just of the same color, but could be on 10 different cards.
Exactly. So it's like, well, 7 pieces, 10 different cards don't work that way. But I mean,
if the cards are big, I don't know how big they were.
No, just never mind.
No.
You missed the point. The math doesn't math.
Well, yeah, I was saying like the blocks of colors.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, no, you're right. So it's like, I was doing it. I was halfway done, and I was like, can't be bothered.
Yeah.
And I picked them up as nicely as possible and put them back in the box. So if I want to go back to it,
you'll never go back.
I don't have to start all over. But like, that's the problem. It was like too stationary. Like, it's a problem.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's where we're different because I love shit like that.
It's so funny. Like, Emily and I are so similar, but yet the most wildly different people. And we found that out this weekend when we were at Spirit Halloween. We were going through fucking Spirit Halloween, and she was like picking out shit, saying shit, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, we both were like, we could not be wildly different. Like,
no, there was a moment, and we were looking at like masks or something, and Kellen was just like, God, this shit is so weird to me. And I was like, you know what would be the most fun ever? To work in a haunted house. She was like, why? And I was like, how are we friends? Because literally, like, what do you mean why? That sounds like the dream. Scaring people and getting paid. Like, literally, that sounds amazing. And she's like, I don't get it. And I was like, but this is also why it works. Because, like, we work really well because we are very similar, but also, like, we're extremely different.
No, and I honestly feel like, not to bring them up again, that's like Cody and Noelle.
Yeah.
They're just wildly different. Like, the things that they like to do outside of their, like, relationship is, like, a complete 180.
Yeah.
But that's also good because it's like, you show me things, I show you things.
Yeah.
We can
and
talk
also,
about different
like,
things all the time.
Yeah, and also you're able to, like, when we're not together, we're not like overlapping in like outside life too.
No, 100%.
Which is good.
Because like we are with each other a lot. So it is good. No, I actually had a girl DM us the other day and was like, we made a comment, I guess, about this before on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying, they were like, thank you for like talking about that though, about like having friends that are wildly different than you, because like a lot of my friends and I were like the same as I was like growing up. And she was like, it was never fun. We never had things to talk about. It was never like a stimulating thing.
Yeah.
But also she was like, a lot of my friends then too, like as we got older, we just had like difference of opinions through like things that actually matter in life. Like actual like social issues and stuff. And she's like, and I realized like we just weren't friends. And she's like, and now I have friends that like, we just have different interests and it's so fun because like we can kind of like go hang out with each other and do those other people's interests, even if it's not what you enjoy. And she's like, it's so much more fun to have friends that like different things.
Yeah, and I would say like all of my friendships that I still have that have lasted are, it's like the things that we have in common are like big overarching like ideologies or like political stances or like humanitarian beliefs. But other than that, like...
No, because your friends are so different than you.
Like, literally, if you meet any of my... And also, all of my friends are different than one another.
Yes.
Like, they're all very different. You put us all in a group together. Even aesthetically, we're all different.
Because you've even, like, about, like, your college experience, like, how you guys have lived together and all that stuff. I'm like, how did any of that work?
No, because
I
literally,
always thought
if
that.
you put all of my friends together in a room and we're all talking, you would be like, what do they have in common? Because I don't get it. But it just works because, like, at the end of the day, there's, like, weird similarities that we all have. But the fact that we're all different is why it works. Because, like, we're not all up in each other's shit all the time. We're not. And also, there's no competition within each other's interests, which I think is good.
No, that's actually really true because if it's like, and also it's like hard when you only have that one thing that holds you together.
Yeah, totally.
Once you remove yourself from that one thing that
You're
holds
like,
you together,
oh.
it's like doesn't really like.
Yeah, like what
I've
else
had
do we have in
friends-
common?
I've had like friends in the past who I would have like at the time thought were like really good friends
Mhm.
and like, but we like worked together.
Right.
And then like once I left that restaurant, we
Yeah.
are like we don't have anything else to talk about. And now she doesn't work at that restaurant. So it's like the people there, whatever, that like kind of like still held you together.
Right.
Is
There's
no
like, okay, well,
more.
if that's removed, what do we actually have in common?
Right. And that's hard because like I still like love her and like support her and like want the best for her in her
Mhm.
life. And like I obviously like see all of her shit on social media, but it's like, but we literally just don't like have anything in common anymore.
Yeah.
And now at this point, like we're in very different stages of life. But it's like, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's like when you understand like the important stuff that you have in common, that's really the only thing you need to have in common.
Right. And then that's what's gonna keep a friend for life.
Totally.
This turned into a whole
Got a
180.
little deep. The last thing before we go, I do want to talk about this because I think it's a fucking great show and I think everybody should watch it. But there's this show on Netflix and it's a reboot of a show that they made back in the day. I don't know what it was on. It's giving MTV. I don't think it was on MTV, but it seems like a show that would. It's called The Mole and it's on Netflix. And essentially the premise of the show is there's a group of people and they're all placed in like a house type situation, but that's not the main part of the show. Like they go travel to all these places or whatever. It's kind of like Amazing Race vibes where they do all these mystery games and the whole point is to earn money throughout the show. However, there's one person among the group who is actually conspiring against everyone, trying to like fuck up the amount of money that they get and fuck up the challenges and whatever. Nobody knows who the mole is. Even as an audience member, you don't know who the mole is. And then after every episode at the end, they have to take this 20 questions quiz and you have to put in your vote for who you think the mole is. But in order for it to like actually work, you also have to take a series of questions that are so specific, like what color shoes were they wearing the first day during this challenge and what is their astrological sign. So you have to be paying attention to all of this stuff, and then whoever gets the most questions wrong and also guesses the wrong person gets eliminated. So the mole doesn't ever get eliminated because they know who the mole is. So the mole stays throughout the game. Everybody else gets eliminated. The money gets sabotaged, and there's like all of these like, you know, like, oh God, what am I trying to say? Like hypothetical scenarios that they get introduced with that it's like, okay, you can accept this, but you might lose 10K for everybody else, but you'll get information on your other players. Do you do it?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
oh my God, it is so fucking good. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good because there's no romantic part of it, which is like, I feel like all reality TV right now is like that, and
yeah.
it's boring. This shit is so amazing. It's literally on Netflix. All of the episodes are out, so you can binge it.
That kind of like seems like it's a combination of like two things. One, like the circle, because it's like you kind of don't really know, like you like talking to each other and like figuring each other out, but like you don't truly know like who's who, and on that you can be like a fake character, so kind of like the mole, right? But then also it reminds me of that, what's that game show that like Cody always watches, and like
The Challenge? That's what it reminds me of.
No, it's like the one where like it's like a YouTube thing that he like watches. It's not like the circle, but it's by the same, not the circle. It's like not like the button, but it's like the same people that do the button, and it's like you have to figure out who in there.
Oh, the
like,
imposter? No, what the fuck is that called?
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. It's the cut are the people who produce. No, it's Jubilee does it. Jubilee.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, except what's crazy is like the whole show, like you think you know what's going on, and then somebody gets voted off, or not voted because they just failed this quiz or whatever, and they get kicked off, and you're like, wait, I thought that was the mole, but it wasn't, because the mole would never lose because they know who they are.
Oh,
So
have
they
you
know
watched the
how.
whole thing already?
No, I'm only on to episode 4.
Okay.
So I'm gonna finish it tonight just because that's how I am. I
okay,
can't.
well, once I'm done editing the vlog, I'm
You
gonna start
have to watch it. It is. So, it's like the challenge from MTV meets Amazing Race meets like a circle or something like that, and everybody in it is like mid to late 20s.
Did you watch the Dahmer show? Since
I'm not watching
everybody is talking about the Dahmer show right now, and
No.
we're talking about Netflix shows.
No, I haven't watched it, and I have a pretty strong opinion on shows like that I'm not gonna watch it, because from everything that I've heard is it's almost like giving an explanation for why he did the things that he did, and makes you kind of root for his character and feel bad for people like Jeffrey Dahmer, and it's almost like not glorifying, but romanticizing him,
right?
Which I fucking hate.
Okay,
shit like
I can
that.
understand that. I can understand that theory, because like the first episode is
Like, I don't care about your backstory.
no, yeah.
You're a shit ass person. You ate and murdered people.
This is the thing about why I'm still holding on. I want to know at the point when does it turn that you start eating the people?
Have you not like watched stuff about like the actual?
Yes, but like I haven't I haven't ever known what the turning point is for why he decides to start eating them. Because like, and don't tell me because I want to find out on my own. But like the first episode, I'm not gonna lie, it's fairly intense. Like the first episode is about the guy that got away. So it kind of starts at like the ending of his like whole
like the turning point of
because
him.
the guy that got away obviously comes back, they find all this shit, whatever, right? And like which is quite interesting. He was like very cooperative, and he was like kind of at that point was like seemed like he wanted to be caught, at least in this like.
Well, also he's in a time where being gay wasn't common, so the police officers were already turning a blind eye on that and blaming things on his gayness.
But to me,
and also they didn't give a shit about people of color at that time,
right?
Especially in the police force,
right? So they were like,
I think honestly, when he was cooperative, it wasn't even that he was wanting to turn himself in. I think he just thought like, well, I've been getting away with it this long.
Because the amount of times that he like almost got caught, even the first time he killed somebody, like got stopped by the cops as he was going to like try to dump the body. Like,
and they were like, ew, gay stuff. I don't want to. I'm good. I'm not gonna look any further.
It's insane. Like but then yes. So after episode 1, it's pretty intense. The next episodes, it's like all his backstory on like how he started being interested in it and whatever. And like I would say it kind of like does glorify it a little bit.
It does. And also they picked a character to play him, and this is what pissed me off, who has already been in other media a quote hot person. So the guy playing him, Evan Peters, was on shows like American Horror Story, where he already is playing this weird villain character who people sexualize, and now you're introducing him as one of the most prolific, disgusting human beings in history. And like 18-year-old girls who watched American Horror Story or whatever come watch this because it's Evan Peters and are like fangirling over this character, but it's like, this isn't a character, this is an actual serial killer.
No, and I don't think he's attractive at all in this. Like it's not like I'm like
right, but whatever. A lot of people
no, but you're right, because of that like past like connection. No, it's just it's interesting to me because I think that stuff is interesting. So I would say like it isn't. I understand where you can get like it's glorified to be 100%. I will say that, like I give you that, but also I still find it interesting. Like I still think that it's like if you're watching it with the intent of knowing that he is still a piece of shit, then like I think it's okay. But when you start feeling bad for him, that's when you're like, you gotta turn that shit off.
I also think it's just like one of those things where it's like, did we really need this? No. Can we not just have a documentary that doesn't show the actual abuse and murders of these
and it's like
people?
Intense.
Because also victims' families have come forward since this has come out and been like, why is this a thing? Like you're re-traumatizing us. You're traumatizing an entire group of people who can, you know, empathize with these victims because they are also part of that group and are like, I don't want to see this.
So the craziest thing to me is like, one, this didn't happen that long ago.
That's the
so
thing.
Like this,
the victims' families are still alive.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm like, it's even crazier. It didn't happen that long ago. Like this could have been like our older siblings or like our like
it was like
parents,
the 70s,
or like, you know, but even like us, like as I'm like watching this, I'm like looking back at things that are like situations I put myself in college, and I'm like, oh my God.
Well,
like,
and it was kind of the same vibe when they did the fucking Ted Bundy thing with Zac Efron.
mm-hmm.
And what pisses me off about this and the what is this guy, Jeffrey Dahmer situation is I look at people like John Wayne Gacy, who conventionally is a unattractive person. They would never make a reenactment type, movie of his character because nobody would give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But because we have two, quote, conventionally attractive dudes playing, quote, conventionally attractive, non-threatening looking people, we make movies about it. And it's like, why did we need one of Hollywood's most attractive people by, societal standards, Zac Efron, playing fucking one of the worst human beings? Like, I don't know. It's like shit like that. See, I'm all for true crime, but I think we've all become very desensitized to the severity
mm-hmm.
of it. And like the fact that we're watching it, like the fact that I can watch a pretty damn near accurate representation of what happened.
He's fully explained every single one.
Yeah, like I don't like that. It's almost like murder porn.
So the other part of it is I have a friend that's a part of the LGBTQ community,
Mm-hmm.
and he is very like love him to death, but he will drive hours to go see a guy he just met off Grindr, just
Mm-hmm.
went off Tinder, whatever. And I literally said to him, I was like, bitch, you need to go watch this because I need you to understand that like you gotta reel this shit in. And he was like, I know. He's like, actually, like within our community, like we're talking about this a lot. Like, will hookups off Grindr like still be a thing? Because like kind of like shedding light on this, being like, holy shit, like if he had like the access to like what we have now, like as in like Grindr and dating
Mm-hmm.
apps and stuff, like his like number of killings would be like tripled,
Right.
because it's just so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, literally any given night I can go on an app, hook up with a guy, and move on with my life.
Right.
And he's like, so amongst our community, it's like shedding a lot of light of being like, we actually do need to be careful. And like, yes, this is like not like we've gotten away with it for so long, but it's like we just like accept this to be our culture. And it's like, oh shit, we kind of have to like look at this and be like,
yeah,
this is real. Like this shit does actually happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I think all of it is, I can't believe that it was aired. And then also like, I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok of people being like, is something wrong with me because I watched the whole Jeffrey Dahmer show and I literally didn't even feel anything. I'm like, yes, there is something wrong. If you were able to watch that and not feel disgusted with yourself for honestly sitting there and like watching all of that, be disgusted with society and the police and the way that we treat certain people. Like, what do you mean you watch it?
I've had to take like
nothing?
a break between. I'm only going on to episode 4, but I've had to take a break between every single episode because it's like,
yeah,
it's so intense.
Yeah, and like, I mean that I feel like that's a normal reaction, but yeah, seeing all these people being like, and it's predominantly white women who are saying this because,
but also that's to your point of being like super desensitized to it because it's so like
every
true
podcast
crime is so readily available.
Yeah.
And like things like the whole, what was her name? Gabby, was it?
Gabby Hanna.
Gabby.
No,
Nope, that's
Gabby Petito.
Yeah, Gabby Petito.
Not
I was
even
like, no,
remotely
it's
the same.
definitely a P, but whatever.
Yeah.
I was whatever. Like that happening in real time and how every single person thought they were an investigator.
It was like fun for them
because of like the board games that have come out and because of all those things. It's like
it's really weird. And honestly, like I was very into true crime stuff for a really long time, and then
you still are, but
but a few months ago a situation happened that I was like involved in and was a witness of, and honestly ever since that happened and it was like a real life thing that I watched, I realized that there are real people on the other side of these stories, and there are real victims' families who now, because people are making podcasts or making TV shows or making fucking board games about like for entertainment, like I view it a lot differently now. Like I appreciate the educational purpose of it, like sharing the victim stories.
Yes.
That's why I have an issue with the Jeffree Dahmer thing. I don't give a fuck about him.
Yeah, they honestly, you're right. They should have had it flipped and being like I guess you can't really talk to the victims, but even having like the victims' families like points of view or something would have been like more.
Nobody needs to know that he was a victim of abuse or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Not every victim of abuse turns into a fucking cannibal.
Flipping, yeah, that is where I, not that I'm okay. This is gonna sound crazy. I have two things to say and then I'm done. But one is about Jeffree Dahmer. So, like, not that I can understand the want to like kill somebody or be a serial killer, because I've never had that. I can't like sympathize with that.
Just to clarify.
No, I can't sympathize with it. But I think that like it's understandable because it's like a lot more common and people do it all the time. Like we hear about it so much, right? But then like the flipping of like wanting to eat somebody is a whole different level of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, like, I don't think, like, you can totally be a victim of your circumstances, and I think definitely, like, people who suffer from abuse, you know, they deserve some leeway in life, but you can't say that it's any justification for doing anything implicitly bad to somebody else, because not every victim of abuse becomes an abuser.
No. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not,
it's like,
I'm not sympathizing with him killing people. I'm just saying, like, it's more It's not understandable.
I think what you're wanting to say is like you're not as surprised because of how often it happens.
Yes. Okay. Then flipping the full script, not talking about Jeffree Dahmer anymore. This was probably like the intro to every single person's like true crime, whatever. It was like when Serial, the podcast, came out, and the first thing,
shout out Adnan
Sayed just got like out of jail, which is insane. And I think that is like
23 years, right?
To your point earlier, being like to the victim's family and stuff, like, first of all, I'm not sure how her family feels about it if they don't think that he did it or he did do it or whatever. Like, that's also crazy. But I think it's insane that the power of media and like what it has, because the amount of times that they like close his case again when he tried to reopen it, but because of social media and like the way that was, like, he like,
and Rabia Chaudhry, which is his best friend's older sister, which she's an attorney, but she was like his person the whole time. Like, she was rooting for him. She was doing all of the legislation to help get him freed and all of this stuff. But like, yes, because of Serial, and I can't think of her name, the woman who is the host of that,
Sarah Koenig.
Yeah, because of people like her sharing the story, there's a lot of good that comes out of it.
Yes.
But that is advocating for something totally different than this type of stuff.
No. But I'm just saying, like, because we were just talking about true crime in general being like,
and I think people like
so desensitized and whatever.
People like Crime Junkies do a really great job of that, where it's like advocating for victims' families, sharing things about missing people and helping,
and also sharing all sides of the story when they tell it. I think that that's also important, because like this is very one-sided as far as like the Dahmer series goes, but like, I think that was insane, because that was like the first thing that I've ever heard about like any sort of true crime.
I think that's how most
Serial.
of us got introduced to that community, especially in podcasting. And honestly, that's how I got introduced to podcasts in general, with Serial.
My senior year of high school, we listened to that whole podcast because like it was our senior year of high school, and our English teacher knew we did not care about reading, we didn't care about writing stuff, so we actually listened to the podcast every single like week when it came out in class, and then we would do like writings on it, and we actually had like her whole back wall was just like the town.
Oh, nice.
And we like did all these things. Every class had different theories, and we like by the end of it we had to like write our theory on like, did he do it, did he not do it, why not, all that kind of stuff. It was one of the most interesting things, and it's like no one ever remembers our high school like shit, but that was one of the coolest things,
right?
And that's kind of like what got me into like podcasting, true crime, like understanding all of it. But this podcast was like
took a turn for sure. But I'm glad we talked about it, because I don't think enough people are talking about the negative side. Of that.
I do agree.
And I also really wanted to voice my opinion on that, because,
and it's so prevalent right now, because it's just like a hot topic to like.
Yeah, and and definitely like I'll talk about it at some point on the show. I don't think I'm ready to talk about it yet, but the thing that I was talking about earlier, but it's real. There's real people on the other side of this. There's real victims' families, and there's real victims. So it's like, I would just think twice before you make a comment about being like, oh, I didn't feel anything from watching that. It's like,
Probably
you should. Maybe, I don't know, go seek therapy at that point.
Because like you were so desensitized just by the way that like social media does portray and how readily available it is to everybody.
Right. Like there's a difference between like enjoying horror movies that are fiction and enjoying that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't enjoy that.
No. But anyway, it's time to wrap this podcast up because it's been a jumble of topics. And if you're still here, thank you.
Yeah. And that was our dissertation on the true crime community.
And end scene. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Society 97. I'm Kellen. You can find me at KellenRedK on Instagram.
And I'm Emily. You can find me on Instagram at Starnsy. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram as well. We're at society97.pod. You can follow us on TikTok at society97pod. Hopefully, me not being scary fixes the algorithm. And also go follow my TikTok because I'm trying to grow that shit, and it's also Starnsy.
I don't really use my TikTok, so maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Coming soon, Kellen's TikTok.
Yeah, I'm just really bad at posting on social media. It just freaks me out. But anyway, we also have a YouTube channel, Society 97. Make sure you go subscribe there, turn on your post notifications. We post vlogs every other Tuesday, and on the other Tuesdays, we do the guide videos. So make sure that you send us in things that you want us to talk about, topics you want us to kind of dissect, and kind of get like down to the nitty gritty of the details that you're looking for that we don't do on the podcast.
Yeah.
Also, every single Friday, we do the video version of the podcast. And we'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.